from around the world to the Wayfarer World's, aka International Championship, going the other way around. International Championship. I think we've got, I don't know how many different countries are here, but it's fantastic to have everybody here. I'll go through a little bit of introductions. Yeah. So I'm Mark. I'm Mark Taylor. I'm the, I guess, vice chair of the committee. I'm not sure what it is. Rob Wiersma over here is the chairman. Rob! We got Ann Pugh, who's here. She's on the committee. Who's the PRO for the, we still call it PRO? Race officer. He's been doing that. All these other people that are around, which will be introduced. Norm, we got Norm Rippin over here. He's been busting his ass. And who else have we got?
Yeah, I'm in.
Oh, we got Leo over here who's been doing all the measurements. So guys, I'll just tell you a little bit. So, this club is a self-help club, right? And it's been around since, I guess, 72. And, you can probably tell since you guys have been here, it's been a pretty relaxed atmosphere. And it's very much, as you say, self-help. So everybody who's doing this are all volunteers, and people have been, probably been working on this for the last 2 years and organizing it, and so a lot of work has gone into this. So that's kind of the culture that we like on this world. Is it's going to be, I'd say, relatively informal. And if you see things that need to be done around the club or helpful, feel free to jump in and grab that, because that's kind of how we roll around here. So I guess what we're going to do is we're going to turn it over very quickly to John to talk about the race instructions and what we're going to do today and for the next few days. And then John's going to turn it back to us, and we'll do a few more announcements about what's happening for the rest of the week. Okay? John?
Somebody suggested that everybody here didn't know everybody. So I'm going to go through my list of entries by skipper's name and ask them to put up their hand so everybody knows who everybody is. The first one, this is in my order, the original order by sail number. I understand someone changed sail number. Sue Billy.
That's me.
There's Sue.
And that's
Alan Sue.
Bob Stevenson.
And there's Steph.
Right here, that's my crew, Jeff.
Kit Wallace. Hanging. Kit. Jim Heffernan.
Jim and Linda, North Carolina.
There you go.
Colin Junkin. David Pugh. Doug Ryan. And Chris Ryan. Al Schoenberg.
Right here, my crew has just been sent.
Oh, here he is.
Just getting started.
That's a good shirt for you. Mike Codd. Mike Dale. Here. Steve Carroll. Right here. Ken Butler. Right here. Beverly. Alan Nichols. Here. Mark Taylor, No. Scott Ramsey. Here. Leo Van Campen. I need your boat name. Kent Butler, I need your boat name. Alistair Ryder Turner.
Yeah. Try and pronounce his boat name.
Quentin Strauss.
Yeah.
Quentin Strauss. Gotcha.
Son
Michael McKechnie.
Yeah.
Mark Hines. Marcus Benetis. John Cawthorn. Nick Serafinoff.
Here.
I need to talk to you when this is over. No, you. Not your crew, you. David Hansman.
Right behind you. And David Richardson.
Richard Johnson.
Right here, the wife Michelle and the,
Robert Weir's may you know. Peter Ernst Ron. Richard Hartley.
Hip.
Simon Strauss.
Here with Kingsley.
Henry O'Frill.
Not here.
Elaine
but his wife's
O'Frill.
here.
Swords Farm.
Right here. Crew.
Monica Schaefer.
Here, and the crew's cleaning the boat like all good crew.
Margie Crawford. And Gordon Reed.
Here.
May I miss anybody? Does it like it? Okay.
Smooth.
For those of you, I don't know how to put this, haven't had the pleasure of having me as your race officer in the past, here's the way I run races. If the line isn't good, it's my fault. That means you're all spread down the line. I will AP before the start if it looks like I'm getting a train wreck. So be prepared. Once I get that line so you're spread down the line, I'll try you on a P flag once. And if it doesn't work, you blow out the middle because you're too aggressive, you automatically go to black. And I will call the fleet on black. If I don't get everybody over early on a black flag, you'll get a general recall and your number will get posted and you get to have lunch. Number one. Number two, having to do with starts. I know you think this is Lake Ontario, but I got news for you. It's got current in it. You could get a 2.5 knot current going west to east. And it'll push you over the start line, so be warned. It's unpredictable when you get it. Not likely to get it out of the north. Number three, if we get a north wind like we got now offshore, surprise. The wind is going to be whacking back and forth like a barn door. I pick the middle and send you. So get ready to play. I will try and not have the weather mark closer than half a mile to shore. But even at half a mile from shore, it can be 20-degree oscillations either side. You'll be sailing along and you'll do an auto tack. If you get the wind out of the north blowing 10, 15 knots, that's what will happen, so be warned. I could go out 5 miles and you'd still get this oscillation. So going further out doesn't help. We are going to do windward lewards today for a practice race, and the schedule says windward lewards tomorrow. You will get your Wayfarer triangle with 70-degree jibe at the number 2 mark. You get that Wednesday and Friday. It's already set in the schedule. I know that the notice of race said 1 race constituted the series. The sail instructions say 3. Sailing instructions apply. I wouldn't be concerned about it because I'll drop dead if we don't have 3 races in this week. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. One more thing. There is no offset mark at the top. For several reasons. Number one, the offset mark is to separate the upbound from the downbound, and the effect of it is to protect port tack yachts coming in on the port tack lay line, and I don't know why any race officer would want to protect port tack yachts coming in on the port tack lay line. Okay? I don't want them doing it. I'm not going to help them. Guys that want an offset mark are saying they want the ability, they don't like the idea of going around the weather mark and driving onto port, putting their spinnaker up and sailing down under the lee of all those starboard tack yachts coming into the mark. If you want to jibe at the weather mark onto port, put the kite up and sail under the lee of those guys, be my guest. Now, time limit for each race is 2 hours, which tells me that my target time is somewhere between 1 hour and 15 and 1 hour and a half, so that I've got, that's for first boat to finish. So I've got time for the rest of the guys to finish, so I get like 2 hours of race. We start at 11, second race at 1, we're finished by 3. That's the kind of thing I'd like to play with. If I do that, you're gonna have a weather leg of about a mile. I don't believe for one moment that you guys are gonna be overlapped at the weather mark at the end of a mile upwind leg. I just don't think it's gonna happen. The most important leg in a race is the first leg upwind. And it should be long enough that you guys get a chance to sort it out. And it also should be long enough that if you make a mistake, you got a chance to recover from it. That's my philosophy on windward legs. So if it's a mile or even longer, depending on what the wind's like, I don't want to see you guys going around the weather mark in a gaggle, which means you don't need the offset mark anyway. Okay? Anybody got any questions? Good. You have to shout because I'm deaf.
The windward leeward,
I
is
can't
it
hear
just
you.
once up, once back?
No,
No, it's twice.
No,
3.
it's twice around, windward lewards. Weather leg, leeward leg. Weather leg, leeward leg. Weather leg to the finish. Races all week, you're going to finish going upwind. Unless we have to shorten course. You're going to be finishing going upwind.
Sean, your intention. Are you going to leapfrog the course, or are you going to reset it?
We'll probably go back and reset.
Okay.
Okay.
I just want to know what your intention
Well, if the wind's offshore, we can't leapfrog.
Yeah.
Okay? We'd be leapfrogging into the parking lot.
On the windward leeward, the racing instructions say windward, leeward, windward.
No. It's windward, leeward, windward, leeward, windward. It's 5 legs.
One gate. One gate. Finish.
Look at the top of the diagram.
It's on 2 lines. Read both lines.
On a windward lure, you go from the start to mark number 1, which is the weather mark, to the gate, to mark number 1, to the gate, to the finish, which is up above mark number 1. It's 5 legs. On the triangle, it's once around the triangle, windward, leeward, windward to the finish. Any more questions? Race training is a blue boat. It's like a 30-foot fishing boat, trawler type boat with a white cabin on it and a tall mast and some racks on the roof for putting in course numbers and all that kind of good stuff. It's out of port credit. We have 2 mark set boats. One for the top, one for the bottom. All that equipment is kept over port credit. It's port credit's equipment. We're not bringing it over here because we don't have enough dock space. So we're just operating out of port credit. But you'll see us out there. Guys from this side of Sailing Club know what herring looks like. Okay? Your signal flag, your cross flag is a great. Blue magnets on that. Blue magnets on that. Dig in there, there's a white flag. This comes down. The other flag is either P or black. You won't see any I's or Z flags. It's P or black. You'll see a W or an O hoisted to tell you which, remind you whether it's. Any more questions?
Are you going to put up the AP first? Hear me?
I can't hear you.
Are you going to put up the AP as a warning flag to let us know that you're about to go into sequence?
I might very well put up the 18, so when I drop it, that's what minutes we're in sequence, but I expect to go in sequence on time. You guys know what a whiskey flag looks like, your windward lures, your Oscar for your Olympic triangle. Any more questions? If somebody's over early, you get x-rayed. I didn't bring x-ray, but it's the white flag with the blue cross on it. Somebody's over early and we identify everybody's over early, that's what goes up. Otherwise, it's first substitute general recall. On a black flag start, if there's a general recall, it's not AP before the start, there's a general recall. On a black flag start, your number will be posted and that means you do not sail that race. Okay? You get to go and have lunch early.
Are you saying that on VHF or?
If you get black flagged and you get identified, and that's what I mean about culling the fleet. And I have a reputation for culling the fleet, black flags. I once called 36 boats out of a 76 boat fleet in 3 tries before they got the message.
Louder.
I'm just testing to see how bad your hearing really is. I offer you a beer. I figured you'd hear that. So you're really out there.
It's a red letter day which showed
I was sitting next to him at the committee meetings. He's deaf.
Anybody got any questions?
Where will you post?
See ya.
Where will you post the numbers on the side of the committee boat?
Yes. What? Where will you post the numbers? I mean, on black.
On a great big honking 2-foot high, 4-foot wide whiteboard, and it'll be on the back of the boat. If I have a general recall on a black flag, start sailing back and forth across the stern of the signal boat to see if your number's posted. Because if it's posted, you're having lunch. Okay? See you out there.
Thanks, John. I forgot to mention Anthony Vega. Where's Anthony? He's part of the. He's been busting his ass for this. There he is, right there. We'll announce some more of the volunteers a little bit later, for sure. So we've started a tally system, and the penalty is severe, right, Ann?
Oh, it's at the discretion of the jury. So.
It's at the discretion of the jury, so don't screw up. So basically, the way it works, we've got a tally board. Each of you that have registered, you know what register number is. Does everybody know what number they registered in? What number? I'm pretty easy. I was the first, so I got number 1. That's pretty easy. So basically, what you do is before you go out, you take your tally and you put it in the green box. Before you go out, what happens once the race is going on? Somebody's going to take that. They're going to note all the numbers that have actually put their thing down, and then when you come back in, you take the same tally, because now they'll be back on the board by the time you get back, and you put it in the red box, as you can see by the lovely Sue here. She's doing a great job.
You gotta take the elastic off, I think, to get the number off.
I want an A.
Toss coins.
Can I spin? Vanna White.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody got the tally system? Like I said, it's severe penalty if you don't do this, right?
Well, it's a safety thing. We have a thunderstorm. If we have a thunderstorm, we could have lightning and we could have 50 knot winds for a short period of time. So we just want to keep everybody safe.
And from a life jacket perspective, I'm not sure if it's actually on the race instructions, but everybody please wear their life jackets. I think it should be a mandatory thing if it's not in the race instructions. That's how we do our races here. So even if the winds are kind of blowing a little bit, please wear those.
Lightning. If there is lightning in the area,
He'll get us off the lake.
you just have to and get your mask out of the right?
Yeah, but John will get us off the lake, hopefully, in time.
Are you finished?
No, I got.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
When you get finished,
I know John.
when you're finished.
Okay. So tonight there's going to be a reception. I think it starts at 6. I can't guarantee it. I think look in your instructions. Either 5:30 or 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. So there's going to be beer upstairs. We got a beer license. So please drink as much as you want, especially before the race tomorrow. Drink really a lot tonight. Okay? It's Canadian beer, and it's very low alcohol. So especially the American. It's just like Miller Lite. Okay? Pounding that stuff down. I'll even buy you guys. Okay. Also, there's going to be, I believe, some burgers and food like that at this reception.
But don't eat it.
You can eat a lot. Okay, eat a lot, and so that, and there's going to be a band as well. Paul's gonna. Where's Paul? Here. So Paul's band is going to be there, and the band is called Lumber. Right? Lumber. You know where that comes from?
Name of your boat?
No. I can't tell you what the name of our boat is. It's X-rated. So. It's from Office Space movie. If you guys have seen that in the '80s, and yeah, we need you to come in on Saturday. Go get it. Watch it. It's good. So okay, so that's starting at 6 p.m. We got alcohol, and Monday band Lumber got that. Tuesday there's going to be an American dinner here. I believe it starts maybe everything's kind of starting around 5:30. A social, an American social, and appetizers and American stuff there, and the beer is going to be there too. I'm not sure if it's going to be American beer, but I think all the breweries here are owned by American companies anyway. So.
Or Brazilian.
Or Brazilian, yeah. And on Wednesday there's going to be a dinner here as well. Again, starting at 5:36. Beer. Thursday I think is kind of a day off or an evening off for those of you to nurse your wounds. And I think Friday is a day off as well. And Saturday after the last racing, there'll be a pretty awesome banquet across the road here at Port Credit Yacht Club, and that should be a lot of fun. I also want to know, so after racing every day, there's going to be special raffles and special prizes. So it really pays to stick around. And you know, there's some neat prizes that are going to be given away. So please stick around for that. Lunches. So lunches, not today, but every racing day, lunches will be delivered on the water. So after the first race, you'll see little boats coming around, like pitching, you know, things into boats and stuff like that. And that'll be the lunches. And everybody's gonna get those. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else. Anything else, guys? Have I got everything? Yeah? Okay.
Hey, Mark.
Yes.
When do you want our boats out after Saturday? Are you going to be here Sunday or?
Yeah, people will still be here, so I wouldn't worry about it. Now, in terms of launching, you know, we've got a pretty neat launch facility here. You know, it's going to be tough to get all the boats on the dock at once. So if you're going to launch, be ready to sail, so we can just keep moving people through and move them onto the dock and out into the lake as quickly as possible. If there's a problem, for those of you who do launch from beaches or don't mind, just over here, I think, you know, you can actually launch your boats on like a little sand beach here, and actually some of the smaller boats here do that. They actually just wheel them over there. So if you want to get out earlier and you see this big lineup, you know, just you know, you can always do that. You may get a little bit wet, but whatever.
If there is a problem,
yeah.
and some of us are late getting out, well, just we can wait.
It's after drinking the beer, so.
Today, I will wait a bit because I know that the first day it's always a train wreck and everybody getting launched and getting used to the system. After today, if it takes a long time to launch, tomorrow start earlier. He's got a question for you.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. When I've dealt with the tally system, am I allowed to launch and go whenever we feel like it, or are we released, or how does it work?
I think you can, you know, if you want to go out at 7 o'clock in the morning, be my guest. Be my guest.
Use the tally board.
Use the tally board, as long as the tally board is there, yeah.
Yeah, so it says it won't be up to an hour before the race.
Well, it'll probably be up earlier. Look, if my dad's around, where's my dad?
Won't be up to 5.
He'll be here early, yeah.
You want to say something just about the Fisher guys and the other guys using the ramp?
Yeah, so what's going to happen is when everybody's launching, there's not going to be other boats around here, so we're actually closing it off for that period of time. There may be the odd boat that would come in. Those are good watermelons, man.
Right, okay.
So you know what? If there is a power boat that's coming in.
Okay.
You know, yeah, hit them. You know, just be nice to them. They're all, it is a public and it is public ramp, but we have closed it off for the time that we're launching and retrieving.
Yeah, you
So
don't
it
know
should be
that.
okay. It should be okay. Yes.
Which side of the community boat to come alongside of to come and use the head?
What head?
You're supposing the head on the
The
boat
bucket
works.
side. The upwind side.
For the launching, with people boats on trailers, like, is there one or two cars dedicated to getting the boats in and out, or do you use your own?
I think so far we've been just use your own car, and once it's done, you can park in the parking lot. It should be okay. So I you know, just use your own car, whatever you feel comfortable with. By the way, Beth Roosh is over here. Beth has been the volunteer, I think, that's worked the hardest on this committee. She's sorted out all the Any other questions? Okay, so dollies, and for those who have dollies, you know, bring them back here. If you can bring them back into the compound, that would probably be best. Okay, is that it? Any other questions? Okay, there's water here too, so help yourself to water. We have more water.
Ken Butler and Leo Van Campen have to see me. That's number one. Number two, there is a rumor that there's lamprey eels in Lake Ontario, but it's being started. The rumor's being started by a couple of leprechauns. So be warned.
They only go after the Mark IV.